I was fixing the loose hinge on the barn door when a knock came. 3 sharp raps, not loud but urgent, the kind that doesn't belong out here. Nobody knocks on my door after dark. I wiped my hands on my jeans and stood still, listening. Wind moved through the cornfields. The house was quiet again. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe Martha's gate swinging loose. Maybe my imagination filling the silence the way it always did. Then the knock came again. I sighed. "Coming," I muttered, though no one could hear me. I opened the door halfway, keeping my weight behind it. A woman stood on my porch, hair tangled by the wind, eyes wide like she'd been running for miles. She was younger than me, maybe late 20s, wearing a coat that looked expensive but wrinkled, like she slept in it. She looked past me, down the long dirt road. "I need help," she said. "People don't come here asking for help. They come asking for directions, or they don't come at all." I started. "I need a husband by tomorrow." I laughed. It came out sharp, ugly. "You got the wrong place." She stepped closer. "I don't." I tried to shut the door. She caught it with her hand. "Please," she said. Her voice cracked, just enough to sound real. "I don't have time to explain everything, but if I'm not married by noon tomorrow, I lose everything." "That's not my problem." Headlights flashed at the end of the road. Her fingers tightened on the door. "They followed me." "Who?" She shook her head. "If they see me here alone, they won't leave you alone either." I looked past her again. The black SUV slowed, then stopped, engine idling. Too clean for this road, too patient. I swore under my breath. "Get inside." She didn't hesitate. She slipped past me, breathing hard. I locked the door, flipped the porch light off, and stood there like an idiot, heart pounding. We listened together. Tires crunched. The door opened. Someone laughed. Then the engine started again. The headlights disappeared. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. "Who are you?" I asked. "Claire." "That's it?" "For now." I nodded toward the kitchen. "Sit." She sat. I stayed standing. "I don't do favors," I said. "I don't do lies, and I definitely don't do fake marriages." She looked up at me, eyes red but steady. "Then tell me to leave." I didn't answer. "My father is trying to erase me," she said quietly. "Legally, financially. If I'm married, he can't touch what's left." I laughed again, but it sounded tired this time. "You expect me to believe that?" "I expect you to believe this," she said. "I'll sign whatever you want. No romance, no pretending. You keep your life. I just need your name." "My name isn't a shield. It is tomorrow." I walked to the sink, stared at the dark window. My reflection looked older than I felt, tired, alone. That's how I liked it. "Why me?" I asked. She hesitated. "Because you don't matter to them." That stung more than it should have. "You live off the grid," she continued. "No wife, no kids, no debt. You're invisible." I turned. "You did your homework." "I had to." Silence stretched between us. "You're asking me to burn my life down for you." She stood. "I'm asking you to save it." The clock on the wall ticked. I thought about my parents, the farm, the quiet I'd fought so hard to keep. I thought about the headlights on the road. "What happens after tomorrow?" I asked. "I disappear," she said. "You get divorced. Clean, simple." I shook my head. "Nothing about this is simple." "I know." I studied her face. Fear was there, real and raw, but something else too. Determination, the kind that doesn't beg forever. "If I say no," I said, "what happens?" She swallowed. "I go back out there." Another pause. I grabbed my jacket. "You're sleeping on the couch." Her eyes widened. "That's a yes?" "That's a maybe, and maybe is the most dangerous word I know." She nodded, relief breaking through like light through clouds. "My name's Daniel," I said. "Thank you, Daniel." I didn't correct her, because the truth was the silence I'd protected for years was already gone. We left the house before sunrise. Claire sat in the passenger seat, hands folded in her lap, staring straight ahead like if she turned her head she'd fall apart. I drove the old truck down the dirt road, the sky still gray, the fields wet with morning dew. "You eat?" I asked. She shook her head. "I don't think I could." "I figures." She glanced at me. "You don't have to be kind." "I'm not. I'm being practical. Hungry people make bad decisions. And that almost got a smile out of her. The courthouse was small, beige, and smelled like old paper and burnt coffee. No music, no flowers, just a bored clerk and a man who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Names? The clerk asked. I hesitated for half a second. Claire noticed. Claire Holloway, she said quickly, and Daniel Reed. Hearing my name next to hers felt wrong, like wearing someone else's coat. The clerk slid papers toward us. Sign here and here. I read every line. Claire didn't rush me. Any objections? The clerk asked without looking up. I almost laughed. No, I said. Congratulations, the man muttered. You're married. That was it. No applause, no kiss, just ink drying on paper that tied my life to a stranger. Outside, Claire let out a shaky breath. Thank you. We're not done, I said. Rules. She nodded. Of course. We sat in the truck, doors closed, like we were negotiating a hostage exchange. 1, I said, no lying to the police ever. Agreed. 2, you don't touch my land. No selling, no loans, no surprises. I won't. 3, this ends when you said it ends. She looked at me. If it can. I frowned. What does that mean? It means some things don't let go easily. I didn't like that answer. On the drive back, her phone buzzed. She didn't answer. Then it buzzed again. Someone important? I asked. No, she said, too fast. I pulled onto the shoulder. Answer it. She stared at the screen like it might bite her. Put it on speaker, I said. She hesitated, then tapped the screen. Hello? A man's voice filled the cab. Calm, polished, dangerous. Claire, where are you? I'm busy. That's unfortunate. You missed your deadline. I tightened my grip on the wheel. I didn't, she said. I'm married. Silence. Then a soft laugh. To whom? To me, I said before she could stop me. Another pause, longer this time. I see, the man said. Daniel Reed, family farm, no criminal record, very quiet life. My stomach dropped. You should have stayed invisible, he continued, but congratulations, enjoy the protection while it lasts. The line went dead. I looked at Claire. That's your father? Yes. You told me this would protect you. It does, just not forever. We didn't talk the rest of the way home. When we pulled into the driveway, a black sedan was parked near the barn. My heart slammed against my ribs. Stay here, I said. No, Claire said. They won't hurt you, not yet. I ignored her and stepped out anyway. A man in a suit leaned against the car, smiling like we were old friends. Daniel Reed? That's me. Evan Shaw, he said, offering my hand. I represent your wife. I didn't shake it. She didn't mention you. She didn't mention a lot of things, he said, glancing past me at Claire. Congratulations, by the way. Bold move. Get to the point. He straightened. Your marriage complicates matters, but it also opens opportunities, legal ones. I'm not interested. He smiled wider. You don't have to be. Claire stepped beside me. Evan, leave. Soon, he said, but remember, Claire, every choice has a cost. When he drove away, the silence felt heavier than before. You said no surprises, I told her. I said I wouldn't touch your land, she replied. I didn't say my world wouldn't touch you. I turned on her. You brought danger to my door. I brought it to myself years ago, she snapped. You just happened to be standing there. We stared at each other, anger and fear tangled between us. You can still walk away, she said quietly. I laughed, bitter. You heard him. I'm not invisible anymore. She looked down. I'm sorry. I wanted to believe her. I really did. That night, I lay awake listening to every sound outside, realizing the truth too late. The marriage wasn't protection. It was a declaration of war. Claire moved into my house like she was afraid to leave fingerprints. She kept her suitcase by the couch, never unpacked, never settled. Every morning I'd find her sitting at the kitchen table before sunrise, coffee untouched, staring at the same spot on the wall like it might start talking back. You can use the bedroom, I said on the third day. She shook her head. The couch is fine. It's not a suggestion. She studied me for a moment, then nodded. One night at a time. That became her favorite phrase. Living together felt like sharing space with a loaded gun. We circled each other carefully, conversations clipped, eyes always searching for signs of danger. "Someone's been driving by," she said one afternoon. I didn't look up from fixing the fence. "This is farm country. People drive. This isn't random." I finally met her gaze. "You sure?" She hesitated. "Yes." That night, headlights slowed near the gate. Didn't stop, just slowed. I didn't sleep. Neither did she. Martha noticed first. She showed up with a pie and a look that said she already knew the answer to the question she was about to ask. "Didn't know you were married," she said, eyeing Claire from head to toe. "Neither did I replied. Claire smiled politely. "We like surprises." Martha snorted. "Dangerous thing, surprises." After she left, Claire exhaled. "She doesn't trust me, and she don't trust him."
We heard it then. Footsteps near the barn. Slow, confident. I grabbed the shotgun and stepped onto the porch. The darkness felt alive. A voice called out, "Just delivering a message." I didn't respond. "Your wife is brave," the voice continued. "You don't have to be." I raised the gun. "Get off my land." Laughter, then silence. When the lights came back on, my hands were shaking. Claire touched my face. "This is my fault." "No," I said, "this is their mistake." She stared at me like she was seeing something new, something she hadn't planned for. Later, lying awake, she spoke into the dark. "I'm in love with you." I didn't answer right away. "I don't expect anything," she rushed. If something happens." I turned toward her. "Don't say that." "It's true," she insisted. "I never meant for this to become real. You were leverage, and then you weren't." My chest ached. "How do I know this isn't another strategy?" She swallowed. "You don't." That honesty hurt more than any lie. The next morning, Evans showed up furious. "You leaked a second file," he snapped. "Public records," I said. "You're destabilizing everything." "That's the idea," Claire replied coolly. Evan turned to me. "They won't just ruin her, they'll ruin you." I leaned back. "You already tried that." He stared at me for a long moment. Then, quietly, "If you walk away now, I can protect you." Claire went still. I stood. "From who?" He hesitated. That was my answer. "Get out," I said. That afternoon, Claire's father made his move. An injunction. Emergency. Claimed I was coercing her. Claimed abuse. The sheriff came, asked questions, looked uncomfortable. Claire stood tall. "I chose this." The sheriff nodded. "Then that's that." When they left, Claire collapsed into my arms, shaking. "They almost took you," she whispered. I held her tighter. "They didn't." That night, she packed a bag. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Leaving," she said. "If I'm gone, they lose leverage." I grabbed her wrist. "No." "They'll hurt you." "I'm already hurting," I said, "and I'm still standing." Tears filled her eyes. "You shouldn't love someone like me." I cupped her face. "You don't get to decide what I survive." She kissed me then. Not desperate, not planned. Real. The next morning, the news broke. Her father's name, front page, investigations, frozen accounts. The fall had begun. Claire looked at me, fear and hope tangled together. "They'll come harder now," she said. I nodded. Let them. Because somewhere between betrayal and survival, love had become the most dangerous leverage of all. The first thing to go was his silence. Claire's father had always hidden behind closed doors, statements filtered through lawyers, power moving quietly. Now his name was everywhere, headlines, opinions, speculation. He called Claire 3 times that morning. She didn't answer. "You should," I said gently. She shook her head. "Not yet. Let him feel it." By noon, Evan switched tactics. "I can't stop this anymore," he admitted over the phone, "but I can help you control the damage." "You mean your damage?" Claire said coldly. A pause. Then, "Yes." That told me everything. We met Evan in town, neutral ground. He looked smaller somehow, less polished. "They're turning on him," Evan said. "Board members, old allies, people he trusted." "Good," Claire replied. "He won't go quietly," Evan warned, glancing at me. "And neither will they. You're both exposed." I leaned forward. "Then tell us something we don't know." Evan hesitated. "There's a second trust, off the books. If it's found, he's finished." Claire's hands clenched. "You helped hide it." "I helped survive, just like you." That night, we broke into the storage unit listed under a dead company. It smelled of dust and secrets. Claire opened the box with shaking hands. Inside were ledgers, old, handwritten, names circled in red. She laughed softly. He really thought paper would save him. I watched her then, not triumphant, not cruel, just tired. On the drive home, a car tried to force us off the road. I swerved. Claire screamed. We stopped inches from the ditch. The car sped away. We sat there breathing hard. "He's losing control," I said. "And that makes him dangerous," she replied. When we got home, Martha was waiting on the porch. "You need to leave tonight," she said bluntly. "Why?" I asked. She handed me her phone. A photo, my truck, taken from the road, time-stamped. "They're watching," she said, "and I don't like the way they watch." Claire stepped forward. "We won't run." Martha studied her. "You're braver than smart." "I know," Claire said. Martha sighed. "Then you'd better finish this fast." The next morning, the second trust leaked. By afternoon, arrests followed. By evening, Claire's father's name wasn't just disgraced, it was toxic. He finally called again. Claire answered. "You did this," he said, voice shaking with rage. "You taught me," she replied calmly. "You destroyed our family." "You destroyed me," she said. "I just survived." He hung up. Claire stared at the phone for a long time. "It's over," I said quietly. She shook her head. "No, it's just quieter now." That night, we sat on the porch watching the field sway under the stars. "They'll never forgive you," I said. She leaned her head against my shoulder. "I didn't do this to be forgiven." I wrapped an arm around her. For the first time, the fear didn't feel endless. The fall had begun, and we were still standing at the edge, deciding what it would cost us to watch it all the way down. Winning didn't feel the way I thought it would. There was no rush, no relief, just a slow, aching exhaustion that settled into my bones like it planned to stay. The news cycle moved on faster than I expected. New scandals replaced old ones. Claire's father disappeared from headlines, not because he was innocent, but because he was finished. Silence followed him the way noise once had. Claire packed quietly, not in a hurry, not running, just preparing. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Just preparing." She folded a sweater, hands steady. "Leaving." I leaned against the doorframe. "Because it's over?" "Because it isn't. For you." I shook my head. "We faced this together." "And you paid for it," she said softly, "with your safety, your peace." "That was my choice." She finally looked at me. "And now, this is mine." We didn't argue. That scared me more than shouting ever could. Evan called one last time. "They're offering a settlement," he said. "Quiet money. If you sign, this ends clean." "And Claire?" I asked.
Pause. "She walks away with nothing." I laughed. "Then it's not clean." After I hung up, Claire watched me carefully. "You don't owe me anything." "I owe myself," I said, "and I don't sell people." She stepped closer. "Daniel, loving me cost you too much." I met her eyes. "Loving you showed me who I am." That night, we slept together for the first time without fear. No plans, no promises, just two people holding on while the world finally stopped shaking. In the morning, she was gone. No note, just the echo of her presence in every room. Days passed, then weeks. The farm was quiet again, but different. Not empty, just honest. Martha stopped by one evening. "You did good," she said. "I lost her." "You let her choose," Martha corrected. "That's not loss." A letter arrived a month later. No return address. "Daniel, you gave me something no one ever did. Freedom without ownership. I don't know who I am yet, but I know I'm not running. Thank you for surviving me." I folded the letter carefully and put it in my pocket. The world moved on. So did I. But not without scars, and not without hope. Because sometimes winning doesn't mean keeping everything. Sometimes it means letting go before it costs you who you are. The farm healed before I did. Fences mended. Crops grew back thicker than the year before. Even the old barn door stopped creaking once I finally replaced the hinge. Life found its rhythm again, steady and honest, like it had been waiting patiently for me to catch up. I learned how to sleep through the night. Not every night, but most. People stopped driving slowly past the gate. Phones stopped ringing with unknown numbers. Evan disappeared completely. Whether by choice or necessity, I never found out. Claire's father faded into a quiet legal purgatory where powerful men go when the world decides they've had enough. Justice didn't shout, it whispered. I was fixing the fence again when Martha's truck pulled up. "You've got a visitor," she said, nodding toward the house. I didn't ask who. Some part of me already knew. Claire stood on the porch, hair shorter, posture different, lighter. She wasn't carrying a suitcase this time, just herself. "You look like you belong here," I said. She smiled softly. "I was hoping you'd say that." We stood there, neither of us moving closer. "I don't need anything. No protection, no name, no shield." I nodded. "Good." "I came to say thank you." "For what?" "For not becoming my cage." Silence settled between us, comfortable this time. "I lost everything," she continued. "Money, status, the illusion that power keeps you safe. And I gained something better, choice." I leaned against the railing. "Is this goodbye?" She shook her head. "No, this is me asking, without pressure, without fear, if you still want me here." I studied her face. No desperation, no calculation, just truth. "I never wanted to be a husband," I said slowly. "Not like that." "I know. But somewhere along the way, I became one anyway." Her eyes filled, but she didn't cry. "I don't need a husband. I want a partner." I smiled. "Then you'll have to live at my place." She laughed. A real laugh, free and bright. "I thought you'd never ask." That night we cooked together, burned the potatoes again, ate them anyway. Later, sitting on the porch, she rested her head on my shoulder. "Do you regret it, letting me in?" I thought about the fear, the betrayal, the war I never asked for. Then I thought about the man I'd become. "No," I said. "I regret who I was before I answered the door." She squeezed my hand. The stars stretched wide above us, endless and calm. This time, when the silence settled in, it didn't feel lonely. It felt earned.